word hope is actually the verb of command. And this refrain, all 3 times, it's going to lay out the exact same way. Hope in God, he says. Wait with eager expectation, he says. This word hope is written in such a way that he's actively commanding himself to let God do God's thing. I don't know if you've ever been at that point where there's not much else for you to do. There's not a task to be completed in the moment. And you're just waiting on God. That's what the psalmist is commanding himself to do. Wait with expectation for God to do only what God can do. In Romans chapter 8, Paul writes about weakness in our time of need. He writes about a groaning that we feel in the midst of the brokenness that is inherent in the created order as we are awaiting the redemption of our bodies. And in verse 26 of Romans 8, he says, "Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words." These are the moments where we're not real sure what to say, what to pray, where or when the end will come. And Paul says, in unpacking part of the role and work of the Holy Spirit, is that those groanings are so precious to the Lord that he doesn't just hear them, the Spirit actually translates them. And there's permission for you and I to step into the anguish, to feel the hurt and the hard, because the Comforter and the Helper is there. In verses 24 and 25 of Romans 8, the 2 preceding the one I just read, we have the word hope show up. For we hope for the redemption of our bodies, and in this hope we are saved. Now, hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes in what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we wait for it with patience. Here Paul is saying, and not directly echoing the psalmist, but the ideas are very closely related. We wait with eager expectation for God to do only what God can do. And here the psalmist, I think, is giving us permission to feel the hard, but is also, by way of example, giving us an exhortation to follow in the midst of the hard. A song to sing, a chorus to echo, a refrain to return to.